Yesterday started off on a pretty quiet note. It was a pretty quiet weekend until we had one of the largest wipeout events in crypto history. And, what's interesting is despite that, the market didn't really react the similar to the way that it has in the past, which I think is a very good sign for where we're at in this cycle. We're going to talk about what exactly went down, as well as something that last led us to a 300% surge in ADA taking place once again. So again, if you guys are new, haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell, show your support for the channel. It's been growing like crazy. It's all because of you guys. So what we're seeing right now to begin Monday is an ADA that's about 64 and a half cents. Great spot to be, right below that 20-day moving average. Again, we did drop below that yesterday, so we're not quite in a fake out quite yet. There were some questions about that. We discussed that in a video. Is this a fake out? Is this a breakout? We're kind of putzing around the line. Now, several times we have in fact done that before. If you guys take a look back here in the latter part of March, we did this. Throughout most of February, we did this as well. And it's a question of, do we have enough to really get that umph through the trend? All right. This doesn't take place forever. If we are in this lateral motion where, again, we have finally seen this shift from the hands of the impatient to the patient, what we can see is momentum carry us to the upside. We can create a breakout. We can see ADA surge to higher prices. And again, I have a strong feeling for whatever reason in my gut that we are going to see some green this week as we move on. All right. Now, this isn't to guarantee your financial advice or anything like that. What we're seeing for BTC is a continued breakout. We've been broken out now for 4 days. This is a great sign. And this could be, again, something that continues to happen. If we see green in the stock market this week, I have a really good feeling that crypto is going to participate in a lot of that fun. Now, we did in fact see volume stick around a little bit higher levels over the last 24 hours. I figured we'd drop around that 40, $50 billion in daily trading volume range like we have been over the course of the weekend. But we actually ended up closing yesterday about $84 billion. And the reason why, and I'm sure you guys may or may not have seen the post, but what we actually had was one of the largest wipeouts in crypto history. Mantra, and this isn't to poke fun at Mantra, but we actually saw Mantra drop from a $6.5 billion market cap with a B down to 700 million at the time of filming this video. All right. Now, there are big questions about what happened. Some people are talking about, major wallets dumping, 10 major liquidation levels, right? 10 traders saw positions worth over $1 million liquidated. I mean, it was just an absolute shit show. All right. And yeah, this is one of the largest single asset, single day wipeouts we have ever seen. It actually very similar to Terra Luna, for those that remember what happened in 2022. Now, again, it's still being figured out what exactly went on. Some of it has to do with potential liquidity. Some of it has to do with potential insider trading, and I'm sure more will come out as time goes on. But why I'm really highlighting this in this video is, one, you want to make sure you're obviously in good projects that have major transparency. Anybody that's called ADA crap in the past, well, at least you weren't in Mantra, right? And the reason I'm saying this is, ADA's had 100% transparency since inception. That's the reason why it's decentralized. It's the reason why people are in control of the assets and control of the chain. And it's a very big deal. But I really even want to more so highlight the fact that the market really didn't react to this in a big way. In the past, we have seen some of these events where billions of dollars are wiped out from assets, and the market just decides to absolutely cower in fear and dump their bags, right? What's going on? What's happening? And that really isn't the case. We ended up in a very consistent spot to where we were the day before in terms of ADA, or even earlier on in the day. Like, take a look at ADA's daily candle close. We closed right at about just below 64 cents. It's kind of where we had been ranging around most of the day, right? Not really a whole lot going on. So that right there gives me a lot of confidence that the market has matured up enough that we can make some steps forward as the week goes on. Now, what's very interesting is that Angry Crypto Show actually made a post discussing this global search volume for Cardano. And we've talked about this many times before. And what he actually pointed to was we are seeing a very interesting trend consistent with what we experienced on November 2nd, right before ADA made a 300% surge to the upside. And we're actually, going through some of those similar ebbs and flows that we were back at that time. But what I think, again, and I want to go back to, is even more telling here, is we're at the highest levels of relevance we have ever been in terms of Cardano, in terms of, potential overall use, but also in terms of search traffic. Right? If you guys remember, I did a video probably a couple weeks ago highlighting the fact that ADA hasn't returned to the mean like it has before. All right, when we look at the end of the bear market cycle, when we look at last summer, Cardano search volume, very consistent on a level basis, per level basis, about the same even as we've gone on those dips. This time has actually remained higher. So people are paying attention to Cardano more, which I think is a very big sign. What is also a very big sign is we're seeing higher levels of consistent volume in terms of ADA. Last 24 hours on the weekend, almost $700 million in daily trading volume. We've gotten into this point where, again, we're not falling down to that, 150, $200 million in daily trading volume. It's very consistently between $500 million to $1 billion. So we're seeing a lot of great signs that are showing ADA has matured very heavily as an asset, that people are very interested in what's taking place with Cardano. And this is exactly what you need to have a next big leg. Now, this isn't a guarantee or financial advice or anything like that, but I'm sure others who have tracked assets for a while will agree with me. These are very important things. And luckily, ADA is doing exactly what it needs to do right now. It's showing consistency. It's showing strength in its trend. It's still showing strength versus BTC. I think the next leg for ADA is going to be a very good one that people are very happy with. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.